The UK government is coming down hard on employers who are employing this set of migrants in the UK. This is very serious because remember that since this government came into office, they've been doing everything possible to cut down migration to the UK, both legal and illegal migration. So we'll be going into the details of all of these and more in today's video to see the set of migrants that these affect, the employers that have been caught up in all of these already, because guys, trust me, the punishment is massive, and every other thing you need to know about everything that's going on right now in the UK. So please stick around with me while we go straight into it. Now, sometime towards the end of August, the Home Secretary announced that they were targeting employers who were employing illegal migrants. I remember making that video when it was announced. Let's just look at it briefly for some of you who did not watch that video or who didn't hear the news. Now, the Home Secretary Ivory Coast announced last month that the government would crack down on unscrupulous employers who are hiring migrants illegally and exploiting vulnerable people. And over the course of the operation, more than 275 premises were targeted, with 135 receiving notices for employing illegal workers. In addition, 85 illegal workers have been detained. Now, these premises were actually visited by the Home Office, and guess what? Also, some of these employers were caught and they were punished severely. We'll be looking at their punishments as we go on in this video, okay? I would also be looking at those that are considered to be illegal migrants. Now, this is not an immigration advice of any form. It does not replace you getting a professional advice if you need one. This is just me sharing an information for you guys based on my research, okay? So this is strictly for information purpose. So they say that, you know, illegal workers living in squalid conditions on site and far below the UK national minimum wage, work longer hours than legally allowed, and may have entered the UK illegally, overstayed their visas, or arrived under visitor conditions. So can you see people that they consider or they say are illegal migrants in the UK? It could be people that have been in the UK and they have overstayed their visas. They probably forgot to renew their visas or something. That is why if your visa is expiring, you should always check so that you would know when to renew, so that you don't become an illegal migrant, you know. And also those that have arrived the UK as visitors, right? You've arrived on a visitor's visa. Now, from what I know, and I'm sure all of you know as well, applying for a visitor visa does not give you the right to work in any country. I visited the US sometime and I went with a US visit visa. In fact, they will ask you, you know, when you're entering, when you're supposed to leave the UK, and you should leave. You should not overstay your visa because you're only going to visit. They gave you that visa because you stated that you just want to visit, probably visit your family and friends, or go for a conference or something, go on sightseeing, see places you've never seen before, and leave when you're supposed to leave. Employers are not meant to employ those on visitors visa. It is a crime. Anybody on a visit visa should know that you're going to that country solely to visit and leave, and that's it. You're not meant to work or earn money on a visit visa. Now, if you now begin to do that, it will be seen that you are doing it illegally and you would face the consequences, okay? And now employers who are also employing this set of people are also considered to be doing something illegal, and they would face the consequences as well. And if you see here, you say the maximum civil penalty for employing illegal workers is 45,000 per worker for a first offense and 60,000 per worker for repeated violations. So can you see that you're even putting your business at risk for doing this? Okay, so as a business owner in the UK, it's always good to be on the safe side. So after the Home Office gave out this warning stating that they were just going all out on any employer who would be caught doing this, and yes, they kept to their promise. We know that the Home Office always does that. Once they say they're going to do something, they always do. So they raided these premises, you know, these targeted businesses, and guess what? Some of these employers were caught and they were penalized severely. So let's see some examples. Before I continue, I just want to quickly let you guys know about LemFi's 12 days of giving. It's Christmas season and LemFi is here to give and give and give. If you don't know LemFi is a reliable app that allows you to send money to Africa at zero fees and at the best rates that you can find in the market. So LemFi allows residents of the UK and Canada and US to send money to Africa, right? You can can send money to your loved ones using LemFi easily. It's very free, it's easy to use, it's secured, and you're sure that the recipient will receive the money instantly. So this holiday season, you could win amazing prizes from LemFi from the 12th of December to the 23rd of December. You could win rent or mortgage assistance, scholarship or business funding, cash prizes for your loved ones in Nigeria, Nigerian food boxes, Apple tablets, and lots more. There are lots of prizes to be won daily just by using LemFi. I'm going to leave all the details and everything you need to know about this on the screen. Winners will be chosen randomly. I wish you guys all the best. Don't forget to keep sending money with LemFi, and with my code Tochi, you get £15 cash back on your first transactions above £100. Okay, so guys, back to the video. Now, this is one of the businesses that was affected for employing illegal migrants. 10-year ban for Teesside director who hired illegal workers at pizzeria and car wash. Director banned for employing 6 illegal workers. So Idris Ali employed 2 illegal workers at a pizza restaurant in Hatupo, and a further 4 people with no right to work in the UK at a hand car wash in Gainsborough. So the 6 workers from Iran, Sudan, and Cote d'Ivoire were discovered during visits by immigration enforcement. So this is also for you to be aware that if you have a business in the UK, you might just be having some visitors. You never can tell, so it's good to prepare yourself, because you know these immigration guys might just come in at any time to do their checks. Okay, so now it was during one of these checks that they discovered that some of the workers, some of the people they employed in this business didn't have the right to work. Right, the former director of a pizza restaurant and hand car wash who employs 6 illegal workers has been banned for 10 years. Right, so Idris Ali, 39, recruited 2 people who did not have the right to work in the UK at the Tasty Pizza restaurant in Hatupo, and a further 4 illegal workers at Bubbles Car Valencing in Gainsborough. Ali of Lone Street, Middlesbrough, was handed the disqualification order at the High Court in London in October. He was ordered to pay this $9,884 in cost. His directorship ban started on Tuesday, 12th of November. So they said that employers hiring illegal workers defrauds the public purse and puts potentially vulnerable people at risk of exploitation. Idris Ali failed in his statutory duties by employing these 6 people who did not have the right to work in the UK. So basically, as an employer, that is why you see that when you apply for a job and probably you get it, they usually do all these checks to make sure that you have the right to work in the UK. You have to show proof of right to live and work in the UK, because it's very, very important. These employers are doing this not just for you, it's also to protect themselves as well, because as an employer, you're supposed to do your checks to make sure that you're employing people that have the right to work in the UK. So just reading this, you will see the details of the story. It's on Govt.uk. You could read it up yourself. It's an interesting read, right? So one of the workers said he had been at the restaurant for 1 week, while the other told officers he had been working there for 2 or 3 months. And guess what? It doesn't even matter when those people start working, so long as they know that they really do not have the right to work, you're going to go in for it. 2 workers, all men in their 20s, were from Iran, Sudan, Cote d'Ivoire, and say they had been working at the hand car wash for between 1 week to 1 month. And immigration enforcement fined Hammer Tasty £20,000 and Bubbles Car Valencing £60,000 for the immigration breaches. Wow. Can you imagine? This is a huge amount of money, and I don't think you want to go through all of this. Okay, that's why I always say that it's always good to do the right thing. Like, it pays and it doesn't really cost you anything to do the right thing. If you're starting a business in the UK as a migrant, it's always good to go through the due process. It pays at the end. It might be a loss, it might look like a lot of work, or but I don't know, you're saving yourself. It's always good to do the right thing, stick to the rules of your visa, and it saves you from all of this stress and spending money that you might not even have. So the long-standing investigation into illegal working on Teesside and the resulting penalties is a great example of collaborative working between government agencies to combat breaches in employment legislation, right? So employers have a responsibility to carry out thorough checks on individuals prior to employment to ensure they have the right to work in the UK. Failure to do so may lead to further action being taken by the regulator. So yeah, Ali resigned as a director of book companies in 2022. His director ban prevents him from becoming involved in the promotion, formation, or management of a company without the permission of the court. There are also some businesses around me that were also fined, right? So these are the ones that were published by the Home Office, but there are some that were not published, but yeah, some of them were caught and fined. And just to let you know, the Home Office is really out to catch up with businesses that are employing this set of migrants. So please just be careful. If you run a business in the UK, just do the right thing. It's very, very important. And I'm also saying this not just to you, but to myself as well, to people around me, everybody, just try to be on the safe side. It pays on the long run. And especially now that people are looking for businesses to go into, we know that the cost of living is high. So people are looking for side hustles or things to do to make money on the side. People are beginning to embrace business opportunities and things like that. So if you plan to do something like this, to start up a business in the UK, just make sure that if you're going to be employing anybody, try to make sure that the person or your people you're employing have the right to work in the UK so that you don't get into trouble. Okay, right? So this is another one. Mohammed Mia recruited 2 workers who were from Bangladesh at an Indian restaurant in Southeast London. The illegal workers were discovered during an immigration enforcement raid in 2023. So Mia's disqualification means he cannot act as a company director for the next 6 years. So the director of an Indian restaurant in Southeast London has been banned as a company director for 6 years after employing 2 illegal workers. Mohammed Mia, 36, described as the commercial director of Iniga on Croydon Road in West Wickham, hired the workers who came from Bangladesh and who did not have the right to work in the UK. So now I understand that some of the reasons people employ this set of workers is because they pay them less sometimes. You know, some of them are paid by cash, because if you're illegal, you can't even open a bank account. I don't know if these guys have a way around it, but to the best of my knowledge and what we all know about that is on the Home Office website, as an illegal migrant or someone on a visit visa or something like that, you can't even open a bank account. You can't even do a lot of things. You can't rent a house. You can't do a lot of things as an illegal migrant. So I guess these guys just have their way around it. And we can understand why the Home Office is just going all out to make sure that they reduce or cut down such things from happening. So yeah, this business was also discovered during a raid by the Home Office as well. And one of the workers told investigators he had only very recently been working at the restaurant, while the other said he had been employed for 2 months. So interestingly, these guys have just worked for a few months, right? So imagine that you've been running your business successfully, and just 2 months or 1 week after you hired somebody who did not have the right to work in the UK, you were raided and then fined a huge amount of money. You see why this could have been avoided, right? This is another one. This is a 5-year ban for manager of Indian restaurants. So Mason Khan recruited 2 workers from Bangladesh at his Indian restaurant in Herefordshire who did not have the right to work in the UK. And guys, during the raid as well, they were caught and they were penalized. Okay, so they said he employed them without conducting checks that they had the right to work in the UK, which he was meant to do. And yeah, one said that he has been working for 2 months and the other said he has been there since before the COVID pandemic, and they were fined £20,000 and all of that. All these details, this is on the government website, so all the information, if you want to read more about it, is there. You could also read more and see more for yourself. So yeah, there are lots of businesses like that that were affected and penalized for employing illegal migrants in the UK. So you guys know that is one of the reasons this channel exists, to keep you informed as much as possible, to let you guys know what's happening, because remember, ignorance is never an excuse. Okay, so yeah, that is it. I just thought to let you guys know, to give you guys the updates, to tell you what's going on with the Home Office and what they are now doing to businesses. That's it for today's video. I hope this helps. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.